Hello everyone, good to see you again. So today we're going to be continuing on with what we were doing yesterday, which is adding the Friar. And if you remember, I was trying to add an ability to the Friar that is not currently supported in my system. So this stream is going to probably be very code heavy because I'm going to be creating that system. But off of stream, again, I've been working on getting all the Patreon stuff set up, the Discord set up, all that stuff, and that's been a nightmare. I don't need to go into it, but trying to find a good place to host my course content that's Patreon members can have exclusive access to or unlimited access to in a way that I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't even get into it, but it's been a difficult road, but everything's getting set up, everything's working, and we're on track. Hopefully within the next week or two, I can unleash everything and invite you all into the Patreon and the Discord and all that stuff. And then the playtest, ultimately. So anyway, but today on the stream, we're going to be working on the Friar, like I said. But before I get into that, I want to remind everyone that Alchemortis is available for wishlisting on Steam. So it's the first line in the description below if you want to check it out and wishlist it. I'd appreciate that. Again, the playtest will be coming out relatively soon. So keep an eye on all of my social media for that. And I also have my Udemy courses. This one is the Create a Complete Online Co-op Multiplayer Game in Godot 4 course. And this teaches you all of the high-level networking concepts in Godot so that you can make online cooperative multiplayer games. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely check that out. Those are linked below. And I also have Gunforged available for purchase, etc., etc. Here's the cat. Here's the cat. Are you being a good boy? Okay. So, let's open up some of my notes here, and then we will say hi to everyone. Hello, Adam. You keep getting lower and lower in the list there. 85th, I think yesterday was like, what, 43rd or something? But welcome back. Always good to see you. Hello, Visconde. I hope I said your name correctly. Good morning to you. Meep, welcome back. Cinema Time. On time for once. Welcome, Clickertail. Good morning, Ninja Link. If he was really good at basketball, he'd have his own shoes called air fryers. Yeah. Excited to test it out. Awesome. Hello, Neozoid. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, he's a good cat. He's a good cat. What is Friar? A Friar is like a member of a religious community, particularly Christianity. Hello, Emerson. Good morning to you. Good late afternoon where I am. Gotcha. Always good to see you, Johan. Menta, welcome, welcome. Wishlisted. Thank you, Jack. Appreciate that. Hope it's good for the algorithms. I don't know how it works, but the wish lists are definitely helpful because I think there's a flat like wish list amount that you need to hit to be featured in the popular upcoming when your game is about to release on Steam. And so every wish list obviously gets me closer to that goal, so it's definitely helpful. And of course, you also will get a notification when the game releases, but if you're already following my work, that's kind of a moot point, I think. All right, so let's see. Create a new ability flow where abilities can be defined to execute on board state change, rather than when cooldown equals 0. Execute or exclude those board state contingent abilities from being executed during combat. Those board state contingent abilities still need to be shown in the card inspector UI. Okay, so we need to listen for board state changes. That's the most important thing in this whole flow. So I wonder what I should do for that. I wonder, is it appropriate to do this in the board manager? Is it reasonable to do this in the board manager, or should I do it somewhere else? Maybe I should do it in the board inventory component. Card removed, card placed, grid changed. I don't know if it's a good idea to do it in here. I may, let's see. I may just do a generic signal here. Public delegate void board state updated. Event handler. So we've got emit signal card placed. We can also do emit signal board state updated. Is this even used anywhere, this remove grid cell? It's not, so we're going to get rid of any unused methods in here. Is add grid cell ever? Nope. Okay. Set board dimensions, grow board to dimensions. Okay. I guess it'll be okay to just do this. Okay. I think that's all right. So now what I can do in my board manager here, anytime I register a board, registration.board.board state.board inventory component, board state updated plus equals on board state updated, registration.board. Cool. Scroll all the way down. For each var card in, this should be board. For each var card in board.board inventory component dot get cards on board. We're then going to need to run a method on the base card. So let's do this. I'm going to use some fancy language here because it's maybe it's not super fancy, but let's just do public void update board state contingent abilities. So this is the crux of where all that logic is going to happen. So we're going to do card.update board state contingent abilities. Cool. Okay. So now what I think I'll do is... I didn't think I'd get this far. Let's see. I don't think I want to put this at the... Well... What was I calling this? Self-tag turn cooldown reduction. Query account provider. Excuse me. So I think what I want to do is we're going to create let's create a new file. New file I board state contingent ability. I don't really know if this is going to be, if this is going to have anything inside of it. Probably just be an empty interface, honestly. And then here we'll do I board state contingent ability. So I don't know if this is the right place to put it. I think it is at the composed ability level, but I guess we'll figure that out. No one noticed the beer stein at 10 in the morning? Oh yeah. Yeah, he's gonna say it's coffee, but we know we know the truth. Gotta think about that comment log too. Would it just say what modifies in the beginning? Yeah, that's going to be a future consideration. I don't think my initial hunch is that there doesn't need to be a combat log for this, because in the case of this, it's just going to modify the turn reduction. Like as soon as the board state changes, whether you're in combat or out of combat, well, the board state can't change in combat. So when you're out of combat and you're moving cards around, that's when it's going to be changed. So I don't know if it's appropriate to log that, but maybe. Hello, Ben. Starting to look at shaders. What is better, drawing new sprites or just using shaders for new color palettes? Well, the problem is sometimes you draw something with a color palette in mind, and if you want to switch it to a different color palette, for instance, I'm assuming you're talking about like recoloring sprites. Sometimes it's the palettes don't work the way that you expect them to, right? So like you may have drawn your sprites in a way with one palette where the colors, you know, the way that they're adjacent to each other, the way that they work with each other, it just breaks down if you change those colors to a different color palette. Like the color palette actually kind of does determine to some extent how you draw the sprite. This is especially obvious if you're using color palettes of different sizes, right? If you want to go from an 8 color palette to a 16 color palette, it's going to look weird if you just maintain the 8 colors and don't use the rest of the colors in the palette. I think a lot of times you can't just do a straight color replacement and it will look fine, but I do think that the color palette kind of determines how you draw the sprites in a certain way, if that makes sense. Contingent, yeah, with the Italian hands. Hello, Andrew. Welcome back. Good to see you, as always. Get all composed abilities. Where is this being used? Get composed abilities excluding enchants. I don't know what I want to do here. Let's just not complicate things right now. Get all composed abilities. If ability is I, board state. If not ability. Okay. Board state contingent ability update. So yeah, contingent abilities add. So if ability dot is I composite ability, contingent abilities dot add range. Actually, I think I just want to do this. Contingent abilities dot add range ability get all flattened abilities, and then I do this, right? Oh no, I do need to do. Okay, I think that's okay. Okay. This is a base. Wait, yeah, this is a base composed ability. I really don't know if this is going to work, but that's okay. Create execution context for card. This. Execution context with state. Create enhanced execution context. We'll just do this, I suppose. Yeah, that'll work. And then this can be enhanced context. Okay, so we're executing all of those. That should be it. I think that's all I need to do. We're gonna have to debug this quite a bit, I think. But that's okay. This is an I turn cooldown modifier. Okay. So essentially what this is doing now is this is going to update this self-tag current turn cooldown reduction. This is a board state contingent ability. So I need to exclude that now from the normal execute abilities. Here. Get all flattened abilities. Oh no. Let's see. Execute all abilities. Where is this used? Goodness gracious. Okay. Okay, so I think what I'll do is get all flattened abilities. What I'll do is I'll do this. We're going to create a new method here. Public list base card ability. Get combat executable abilities. Get all combat executable abilities. Ability parents clear. Why is that happening? Oh, goodness. I might also need to make some more changes here. Am I still using this shallow duplicate? Yeah. So the problem in here is that I have this ability parents dictionary up here, which basically does what it says. Because my abilities are like, they can be nested, so there can be sub abilities within a larger ability, and it's useful to know what an ability's parent is, or I guess parent is the wrong word, but you know what the ability is owned by. Where even is that? The problem is that's being cleared and rebuilt every time I call get abilities here. So I almost need to rebuild the ability parents only when the abilities change, which I think is in here, but I can take a look at the composed abilities here and see where this is used. So it's changed to there. And it's changed to there. So this would have to be ability parents.clear there. Okay, so I think I can just safely cache this. So composed abilities add range, scale abilities for tier. I'm gonna need a method called like get ability parents, or I don't know, maybe I'll just call it cache ability parents, something like that. Now I gotta figure out how to actually do that. So you would show and hide different sprites with code. Yeah, well, I guess it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to make a game where like the palette can change during the gameplay, then it might be easier just to find a palette or a couple of palettes that work with the sprites that you draw. That would be the easiest one, especially if you're trying to change the entire screen color. So yeah, maybe I'd investigate that first, but you just have to be aware that you'd have to draw the sprites in a way that it looks good with both or all of the palettes. That's basically my main thing that I'm suggesting. Hello, A the Ant, welcome back. Always good to see you. Meaningful progress is achieved so often here, makes me jealous. Well, that's what lots of experience gets you, I guess. Also the fact that I don't have a day job, so I've got nothing else to do. So I guess I just need to do this. Because that will rebuild the ability parents. And we can get rid of this here and here. Okay, so now we can do get all combat executable abilities. That will basically be this, but X is not. I think that's right. So we change that now. Oh boy, I hope I'm not massively breaking anything. I think it's okay. All right, well, I think the last thing to do now is to change this get turn cooldown. So now we're back to trying to modify the turn cooldown. How do I want to change this? Update board state contingent abilities in here. Probably should just directly modify the turn cooldown, I think. How am I going to do that though? I guess I would just do it in here. this is going to be a little bit weird, but public int board contingent turn cooldown modifier. So now anytime we call update board contingent abilities, we're going to do this. Set that back to 0. And then when we execute this self turn cooldown reduction, I'm going to get rid of this I turn cooldown modifier. Get rid of that. The execution here, what we'll do is we'll do execution context dot base card dot board contingent cooldown modifier minus equals magnitude. Okay. And then in here, in the base card, that's going to be modified there. So now when we go to get turn cooldown, we've got this cooldown here, cooldown plus equals board contingent cooldown modifier. I think that's it. All right, I guess now we have to test it. To test to make sure I didn't break literally everything. So let's go to the Friar now. Let's get rid of this new simple damage for now. And let's do new self tag turn cooldown reduction card tag dot ritual. I think that's gonna work, but we have to set up a test for this now. Let's just put Friar in here. Okay, project settings, game debug, Steam initialization, app ID. Oh, what? Interesting. That's new. Anyway, generate test map on, training dummy on, and we'll skip menu. Let's see. When dice are made, the type determines the color. Gotcha. You're welcome, Ben. You're welcome. Yeah, if you're just dealing with dice, then it might be easier to just draw them, like replace the colors in a sprite. But you can certainly do it with a shader as well. I like watching you make pixel art because I can understand it more than code at a glance. Yeah, you make some decent art too. Thank you. Appreciate that, Monkey Software. Appreciate that. Also, I had skip menu on, didn't I? Why is my debug setting not being respected? Ah, there we go. All right, let's see. Turn cooldown is reduced by 1 for each adjacent ritual. So what we should see is that this basically does nothing. So now we need to add a ritual card. I'm just going to cheat a little bit. Board configuration model dot card positions dot add new vector 2 I01 occultist. Ooh, that's interesting. But this is going to be prayer beads. So now if I did it correctly, yeah, it says 9 turns now. And we can make this even more obvious by going to the self-tag current turn cooldown reduction here. And I'm just going to do this magnitude times 5. Or let's do times 9. So we should see a 1 turn cooldown now, if it's working. Okay, so now if I do this, he should just be executing very quickly. Okay, so that's working. Excuse me. So that's working. The problem now, though, is that I need to make sure that I didn't break anything else. I'm just going to stage all these. So specifically, I want to make sure that I didn't break the ability parents. Try get parent ability. Try get ancestor. Has float decorator, should execute ability. Conditional ability decorator, where's this used? Damage bank. I think that's used by the Skeeter. Mosquito swarm. So let's do project settings. Let's override the player board dimensions. Let's also add the test player cards. Mosquito swarm. All right. Is that from Godot Steam? Yes, it is. Yep. Give him the beads. Hello, Forgotten. Welcome back. So now I gotta make sure that this contingent ability is still working. Or not this contingent, this damage bank. Deal 15 damage every third turn, deal damage equal to the damage dealt by this card in the previous 2 turns. So we'll just give this a shot here. 15. 15. And now we should see, what, 30? Okay, that's still working. So that conditional ability decorator is still working. That's good. What else did I change that needs to be tested? Okay, so this is obviously working. Update board state contingent abilities, that's working. That should be fine. Am I even using this anywhere? Oh, this clear composed abilities is never even used. I wonder if I should just delete that. We'll delete it. Okay. Get all combat executable abilities. I think that's working because it's not... Well, we could put a breakpoint here and just make sure that the Friar is not loading that. Why did that fail? Oh, why did that not show up when I... Okay, so I shouldn't delete that. Okay. I don't know why that didn't show up when I did the find usages, but oh well. Okay, well, we'll keep it. So what we want to make sure of is that in this get combat executable abilities, we want to make sure that this Friar is getting the proper abilities, which should be an empty list. It should be an empty list. So this is the prayer bead. I think the prayer bead is working properly. Yeah, so the prayer bead is working properly. Let's wait for the Friar. Just make sure that the base card is Friar. Yep, so we got Friar there. Let's step through, collect abilities, because all abilities should be 0. Okay, so that's definitely working. Okay. What else do I need to test here? I think that's really it, actually. It still shows up in the card inspector as well. So what I'll do now is I'll go back to the Friar. I'll add back the simple damage here. Okay, so that highlighting is working, which means that it's detecting that prayer beads there. Sorry, there's just one thing I want to change here. Hello, Rin. Welcome back. Always good to see you. Welcome, welcome. I have a bit of a headache that I'm trying to power through, so we'll power through it. We'll power through it. Let's see. All right. So it's dealing damage. I think it's working. The Friar's dealing the appropriate amount of damage, which is great. The prayer beads are still healing. The mosquitoes still work. Now we'll go to the board configuration editor here, and we'll just make sure that the Friar is working correctly. Oh my gosh. This Friar has a 5-turn cooldown because there's 5 adjacent ritual items. The Friar and the Wench. Ooh, saucy. Okay. He's got 2 beer steins there. Very cool. Very nice. I think that's working. Now, what I would really like to do is I want to test it with the player board for a second here. Let me add all of these. I want to test it on the player board so that I can see it update in real time. So let's do this. Actually, I think I can just do this. What is a ritual item that the player has? I think lamb bone ring. And then incense. Oh, that's a relic. Okay, well, anyway. So here, he's got 10 turns. If I place him back here, that's 9 turns. If I place him here, it's still 9 turns. If I move this away, That's 10 turns now. So yeah, that state is being updated now. So those abilities are being quote unquote executed whenever the board state changes, which means that anytime a card is moved or removed, this Friar will update. So I can remove that from my inventory. This should say, oops, that doesn't say 10. Okay, so when I control click, it doesn't work. Why? Try remove card. Ah. I think I need to emit signal board state updated here as well. I think that's what I was missing. Okay, so now I do this. That's 9 turns. I could bring him over here. Still 9 turns. Bring him over here. 10 turns. Okay, so now if I control click that, this should say 10 turns. Put this back here. 9 turns. Control click him over there. 10 turns. Okay. I think it's working. Cool. I think that's working. I think the Friar is good to go. I guess I'm confused. How can the player board have health with no cards? Do you not have individual cards have health? Yeah, the board is the thing that has health. It's not individual cards that have health. Hello V, welcome back. Always good to see you. Just do a break dance now. Okay. Welcome Owen. Thank you, V. Yeah, it should be fine. Friar, Beerstein, and Barkeep make a perfect 4x8 combo of beer, servicing, drinking. Yeah, seriously. Still would think that the board couldn't battle without cards. Yeah, I think I should probably do something about that, but not for the playtest. I've been wanting to ask, what are all the red boxes in your UI? Is it your own custom input handling? The red boxes themselves are reference rects. So there's a type called a reference rect in Godot, which provides those boxes. But these are serving as the base node type for a custom clickable control. So basically, that's just a way that I'm using to visualize the clickable area. So anything that's in red here, with the exception of like this outer one, so like this start button, the quit button here, those are just the clickable areas of the nodes, or of the UI. And so it's just easier to see what the clickable areas are like when I have those red boxes in place. This game is wonderful. Thank you, Lucas. I appreciate that. Jackie Daytona, welcome back. Beerstein needs to be counted as a ritual item. It is, yeah, it is, I think. Let's see. Yeah, it's alchemical and ritual. Give me fuel, give me Friar, give me that which I desire. Ooh, yeah. Metallica is my favorite band ever, so thank you for the reference. Okay. I think we're good, with the exception of I just got to remove this combat change here. Okay. Create board state contingent abilities. We're done. We are done with that. Okay. So now I got to close Godot. I'm going to rebase this branch real quick. Confirm rebase and merge. Go over to the master branch, sync that. Cool. Oops, what did I just do? Get pull or get fetch. Prune. And now we can reopen Godot. All right, going well so far. Now we got to figure out what to do next. The Friar is done. Probably should fix this. Maybe we'll play around with adding a title card to the menu as well. Maybe we'll do some playtesting. Oh, this is done. Cool. All right, so give me a 3-minute break. I'm gonna go take some ibuprofen or something like that. And then when I come back, we'll continue on. I got some main menu stuff that I want to fix up as noted by these cards here. So give me just 3 minutes. I'll be right back and we will continue on. Alrighty, I am back. Metallica is great, but I'm more of a lover of anything with David Gilmour or Mark Knopfler. I haven't heard of those guys. Am I going to be embarrassed? Are they part of a big band that I would know? Your profile pic looks nice in Witching Hour, by the way. Ooh, should I redo the profile pic as Witching Hour? Are you talking to me? I guess. Sprite makes it insanely easy to convert images into a different color palette with index color mode. Oh, interesting. Okay. Thank you, Clicker Tail. Thank you, thank you. Alrighty, let's see. Pink Floyd and Dire Straits. Oh, gotcha, okay. Yes, you goober. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Assets, UI, main menu. I just want to change this start button here. It doesn't have shading up on this part. So we will rectify that. I think that's good. Start button, export. That's kind of a funny bug. Anyway. Start button, export, and it's good. Oh, and of course I have the skip menu enabled. Let's turn off a bunch of those debug things. Generate test map, override player board dimensions, turn off the training dummy. Enable player test cards. We're not going to skip the menu. Okay. Let's see what happens. Okay, that looks great. Very nice, very nice. Whew, that was a lot of work. I'm kind of really stretching my art skills there with that little change. Fix highlighting on start button art. Kerblam. All right, title card to main menu. I actually don't know how well this is going to work. I actually don't know how well this is going to work. I hope I saved. There we go. So we got the Alchemortis logo here. I don't know if this color scheme is going to work, but let's just get this. Let's just get this into scenes UI. We'll just put the logo in there. And we'll see how it works. It's a little small. I might need to draw a bigger version. Well, maybe it's okay. I have to center this in the screen. Let's see. Shrink center, shrink begin. Where did it go? Oh. Oh, shrink center, shrink begin there. Right. Now this logo here, how big is this? 72 by 13. Do I want to do it this way? I don't know. Change that to a margin container, I guess. Ah, what? Maybe I should just use a texture rect for this, I guess. Wonder if it would look better. I don't know. I don't know where to put it. Here, maybe? I don't know. What do you think? What made you choose C# instead of GDScript? I'm thinking about learning Godot and I have this doubt. C# is just personal preference, that's all. I don't think there's any reason why you should use C# over GDScript except because you think that you're going to be more productive in C#. That's it. Yeah, GDScript is easier for sure. It's closer to the sun. Yeah, margin container. Does it look okay here? Maybe down a little bit more? I think put it dead center in the purple section that's above the sun and see how that looks. Yeah, it needs to be as big as the trees. The problem is that, like, this is a font here. I can't just make the font bigger because then the pixel scale gets messed up. So that's going to be a problem. I kind of like it like that, though. It looks a little bit off center. I wonder why that is. Is it because this reference rect is too big? Or not big enough? The way I centered everything in this screen is a little bit awkward, but that's all right. That looks better, I guess. Yeah, that looks more centered. Although now the background art doesn't look that centered. Interesting. Is it the sun that's not centered? Do I need to move the sun? I don't really want to move the sun, but maybe I need to do that. Maybe that's okay. I think it's mostly the sun that's just making it look off center. So if I move the sun over a little bit, I think that's okay. I don't think that looks bad. It certainly could be better, but it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't look terrible. Challenge accepted, can only scale a power of 2, yeah. Multiples of, well, the problem, like, yeah, even if you do multiples of the base font size, which is fine, each pixel in that font is going to be twice the size if you scale it up by 2 times, right? The font will render fine, but each pixel in the font is going to be twice the size of a normal pixel. Like each texel is going to be twice the size, and that's why it looks bad. You would have to remake the entire logo, otherwise you have pixels of inconsistent sizes. Yeah, exactly, exactly. The sun is indeed not centered. Yeah, I think it's fine now, right? I don't know. I think that's probably okay, right? I mean, it's okay for a playtest, certainly. Why not include the pro tag in that screen so that all the fan art can bloom? Yeah, I'd have to redraw the protagonist too because everything's a larger scale here. I know, I'm just coming up with excuses not to do it. It's okay. I forgive myself. Visual utilities dot fade in. I need a logo. Delay 2 seconds. Let's do a 2-second delay. I almost wonder, I want to change something. Change the fade in to happen after the playtest notice. Oh. We'll show the playtest notice first and then fade in the menu, I think. So that's obviously weird, but let's do this. Public static void set to black. Canvas item, canvas item. Public void set to black. Okay. So now my main menu here, what I'll do is I'll say screen rect dot, no, visual utilities set to black screen rect, visual utilities set to black logo. Cool. this is too much of a delay. The sun being centered makes the title look normal. Now, yeah, I think so. Maybe I shouldn't fade that separately. I think showing the playtest notice first and then fading it in is better because you can actually see the fade in then. And then if I go here and I go to quit to menu, we should skip that playtest notice. Okay, that works. I think that works. What do you think? Can I remake the font to be 2 times bigger and have the pixels still be the same size if you'd like me to, but I don't know how to send it to you? You can do that if you'd like. That you could email me at admin@firebelly.com. And yeah, if you do that, I would appreciate it. It's a lot of work, I think, remaking the font. The font is grandeur. But honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I would even use a bigger font. Resources, fonts, Grandeur 8H is the one I'm using. So thank you, I appreciate the offer. And if you want to do it, you know, I'm not going to say no, but I think there's a risk that I may not end up using it because I don't even know if I want to use a larger font there. So it's up to you. I tend to prefer making stuff so off-center that it doesn't look unintentional. That's how I hang stuff in my walls at home. Yeah, I think that there's a certain, like, you know, a sterility to making everything absolutely aligned. And that's kind of what I like about this menu is, like, I think the title needs to be aligned, but everything else is kind of like haphazardly placed, right? Which I like, because it's just kind of like breaks the normal menu conventions, which may or may not be a good thing. I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah. This is the main menu screen. Yes, it is. Yep. Centering stuff that isn't a regular shape is just subject to so many perceived inconsistencies. Yeah, my best friend is a UX designer, and there's a difference between like the center of like the bounding box of something, but then the center of like the visual weight. And a lot of people, or most people, what they'll perceive as being centered is the visual weight. The like center of mass, so to speak, of the item is that centered with everything. They don't really consider like the bounding boxes. So a classic example of this is like a play button, you know, like a media play button. If you were to center the play button in accordance with its bounding box, it would look off center in a normal layout. So you actually have to shift the play button over such that it's more centered around where the mass of the play button is, which would be like on the thicker end. And so if you were to like inspect a play button layout, you would see that the play button is actually usually shifted over such that it's out of alignment based on its bounding box, but it's like visually aligned. You know what I mean? Sent a quick resized title image for you to see if you want to try bigger. Don't know, just a quick mock-up. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll check that out. We'll check that out. Actually, let's see. Maybe I can just pull it up on stream here. Oh, I would have to download it and put it in the game. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Any reason the playtest notice needs to slide in? The slide out is cool. No, it was just easiest for me to do that. I can make it fade in, I guess, if you wanted that. Getting Monster Bash vibes from this main menu. Awesome. Yeah. That's why the pause is usually added to the play button as well. Yeah. My opinion, move the start button closer to the center and make it visually pop from the background. Yeah, I would have to think about how to do that. To make it visually pop, I would have to use different colors, I think, for it. Start button needs to pop more visually. I think the left tree is leaning to the right with no branches to counterweight the emptiness of the sky on the left, so it looks more off-centered, unbalanced. Oh, I see. I mean, I could fix that by adding some more silhouetted trees here, probably. The highlight is enough. Title menu edits today. Yeah, I mean, we're... Welcome back, RN Genesis. By the way, yeah, I think there's definitely improvements to be made to the menu here, but... Because I want to fill out, like, this space around here, too, because it's still pretty empty, but... I don't want to go overboard on the main menu art for the playtest. I just wanted to get something nice in place. I like the highlights, feels alive. Thank you. I want to add more life to this too. Like the flame inside of this lantern is part of that. The clouds moving is part of that. But I also want to add, I don't know, maybe some like leaves falling or something, and maybe some critters or something running around. It still feels a little bit too static, so I got to think about that. But again, we're working towards the playtest, not necessarily striving for perfection at this point. I'm a typeface designer, and a good example of what you're talking about is the cross section of the X glyph. If it's not perfectly symmetrical, if it was, it would look off visually to our eyes. Oh, interesting. That's really interesting. And welcome to the stream, Stuart, by the way. And I didn't even think about the alignment with respect to typefaces. Cockroaches, yeah. Glowing eyes? Yeah, we could do glowing eyes. What you're looking for is dust. Ooh. I wonder if I could do like a fog around the edges here. That might look okay. Do I have fog in here somewhere? Oh, I was going to do fog for the combat background. Yeah. Cool. All right, what else can we work on? I think I'm going to just leave the title there, that menu there for now. Shoot. Post a tentative roadmap to Discord. So yeah, I don't have anything else on my to-do list that's stuff I can do on stream. So let's see if I can find something else that we can do. I think this is done. Experiment with allowing okay. Yeah, the thing about this is, like, since I'm kind of in the process of just getting all of the other stuff set up, the Patreon, the Discord, the Steam playtest, all that stuff, I don't really have a whole lot of content planned here. Same as the clouds, but with more finer pixels and more flowing movement would work. Yeah, I think so. I would probably use the purple color, this dark purple color here, this one. And like you said, make them finer and make them flow, maybe as sort of like a vignette around the edges here for the main menu. So they would flow sort of around this way. And then for the combat screen, well, it's hard to visualize in here, but I could do something similar. Maybe have fog in the background. Maybe I could borrow this kind of style here. Do like a blue sky or the dark purple sky. Put a bunch of silhouetted things, buildings and trees and whatnot. And then have fog kind of occluding that a little bit. I think that might work. I'm trying not to do something like this is a very detailed menu and I still want to add stuff to it. I don't want to do that for the in-game combat stuff, but I still wanted to make it look nice. Sometimes I get notification for live streams and sometimes I don't. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube is weird. It's like when you say, I want notifications from this creator, YouTube will sometimes say, you don't want notifications. So I don't know. Need some crows. Oh yeah, crows. Make an easy card, the candle maybe. Kanban is almost out of work. Yeah, well, not out of immediate to-do work. A candle, huh? Yeah, we could do a candle. Why not? We can do a candle. I'm assuming it'll just be like a 1x1 fire applicator. Ow. Okay. Scenes. No, not scenes. Assets. Card. Background 1x1. I think we're approaching or have already exceeded 60 cards in the game. So the playtest is actually going to have, I mean, obviously a lot of those are the enemy cards, but I think the playtest is going to have a decent amount of content, which is cool. Okay. What? Maybe I drew the candle too tall. Why is that happening? Okay. I don't know. How do we feel about that? Is that good enough? I mean, we might have just knocked out a candle here. What are we thinking about this? I wonder... Let me try this. I think I like the orange better on the candle, actually. I've just done all instead of personal. What? I have just done all instead of personal, so hopefully that works. I don't know what that's in reference to. Oh, I see. For the notifications, gotcha. Let's experiment more on the screen. That screen does not use orange or greenish color at all. Right, because I'm almost using like a sub palette for environmental things. So environmental things are using these 4 colors here. And then the cards are the ones that use the full range of the color palette. So when I'm looking at the map, when I'm looking at the main menu, when I'm looking at the UI elements, I'm sticking to these 4 colors here for all of those. So there's a reason why I'm not using these brighter colors in the UI elements. It's just part of the way that this game has developed thematically, I guess. Maggots as card works with the theme as well. Oh, yeah. Maggots. Sweet. Good suggestion. Okay, we'll make the candle just apply some basic fire, I guess. Ship it. Looks better than the candle from Zelda 1. Awesome. If you're saying my art looks better than a Zelda game's art, then that's great. You hear that, everyone? I'm better than Nintendo, so subscribe to me and also give me money. Thank you. Okay, anyway. Candle. Oh, I need to add, there's missing flavor text. Which is arguably the best candle. Yeah. Hell of a compliment. Thank you. Yeah, I think it is. I'm not super familiar with the Zelda games. I just know that they're very popular. What am I doing? Oh, here. We'll just make this a ritual item. We'll give it a little bit of a crit chance, I suppose. No, not 1. 0.1. Okay, now we got to create the script for it. We're just going to give it some simple fire, 3. That's it. That's all we're going to do. Enable test player cards. Candle. What's the Kanban software? Obsidian with the Kanban plugin. Hello, Nintendo Lawyer here. Are you copying our candle? Yeah, seriously. Oh, that's so just weird. Anyway. Candle. Apply 3 fire. Nice. I think it's good. You're welcome, Chris. I like seeing new cards being drawn and implemented the most. Yeah, I'm sure that's the most entertaining part of the stream. I actually think I like it better with this. Yeah, I think I like that better. With the green instead of the orange. Cool. I dig it. You don't know David Gilmour, Mark Knopfler, and nor the Zelda games? Where have you been hiding? Yeah. Hey, that's your culture, old man. I mean, I guess I'm not. I feel like I'm just at the edge of age where Zelda was not really. I don't remember. I remember one of my friends had a Zelda game on the GameCube. Was it Wind Waker? But even then, when we played it, the GameCube was like very old at that point. So yeah, I think I might just be at that age where it just like didn't really come across Zelda that much in my childhood. First time seeing finished Friar turned out great. Thank you. Yes, I'm very, very old, yeah. You adding any analytics, like how much a card is used versus win rate kind of things, could be interesting and help with long-term balance. Yeah, I don't know how I would do analytics, because the easy way to do it would be to log everything to a file and then have people send me their files. But obviously that's going to be a problem, right? Trying to get people to do that. So I'd have to come up with like an internet enabled way of doing it. But I know a lot of people don't like analytics either, especially when it's tracked on the internet. So I just don't know. I'm not going to have it for the playtest. Maybe a future playtest will have some kind of analytics, but I just have to figure out a good way of doing that. That's all. I don't have any experience with analytics in video games. I've done a lot of analytic work for, when I was a software engineer, doing things like building web-based apps. You use Mixpanel or whatever other LogRocket, whatever other analytics software you want. But I don't know, can you use something like Amplitude or Mixpanel in games? Or maybe I could just set up my own like Firebase, NoSQL database and just like kind of log stuff automatically. I wonder, maybe Steam has analytics. Can I do analytics through Steam? I'm gonna have to think about that. Can I do, I feel like I should be able to do Steam analytics, right? Or is that not really appropriate? Steam analytics for gameplay. It's not something that I've thought so much about. I'll have to ask Mr. ChatJeepers T what the typical way of doing this is. Never played a Zelda game, just kind of missed me. Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat there. There's Sentry. Oh yeah, Sentry. Steam has custom stats that you can make. There's a talk that Slay the Spire dev gave on how they handle analytics for balances. Are pretty interesting. Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out. Is that GDC talk? Achievements could be a good roundabout way. Yeah, it's definitely roundabout. Some sort of high scoreboard players could opt into might be nice. Yeah. There's a way to use Steam to track things, like if the player allows you to, but you'd have to interpret literally watching the players play and counting the wins. Sounds tedious. You could have a Steam achievement for each build and see how popular the achievement is. Post Hog is a pretty good one. Sentry supports Godot. Okay. Maybe I'll have to do that. It might be simple enough just to roll my own solution where it's just like log it to a file and then just have that upload to like an S3 bucket or something. Because the file's only going to be a couple of kilobytes. So like when the run ends, it could just kick off an upload process. I'm sure that would be prone to error, but it would be very simple to set up, I think. And I'm sure there's like a C# package, NuGet package I can add that handles the uploads for me. But I don't know. I'll have to do some research. All right, let's do a quick play test then. Project settings. Disable test player cards. Let's turn on all of the things that people are going to experience with the playtest. Oh, I spelled candle wrong, whatever. Just don't forget to let people opt in so they don't get mad, right? Yeah. You can use C# for this S3 upload. I'm thinking what I could do is like just track a bunch of stats as a JSON object, upload that JSON file to S3 bucket, and then I can have a script that can aggregate all the JSON files together and give me some data. But yeah, I don't know if I probably won't set that up for this play test. We'll just do it. We'll do it live, so to speak. All right, let's actually beat the boss this time. I like this little trick. You can alchemize these two guys together, and you can get a single skeleton that deals 8 damage twice, which is kind of fun. There's a couple of boosters down here. I'll go to the artifact. Skull wand, that sounds good to me. Let's do a booster. Let's do ritual cards. Oh. Increase board size. Yeah, I'm probably going to want that, so we'll keep going down this way. Minion cards. Oh, I don't have room for this one. We'll sell it. I don't have room for any minions. Although, this might actually be a more powerful combination than just this skeleton. Cool. All right, looks like we got some upgrade moments coming up, so let's do that. Okay, now I can put that skeleton here. Cool. Upgrade card. Kind of want to upgrade the wyvern. How much does that upgrade it actually? 12 fire. Got the Friar here. I like the Friar, it's actually pretty fun. Alright, I need a shop. Where's a shop? There is no shop in the vicinity, so we'll keep going. Echo and Swarm. I kind of want to put Echo on this. Oh, there's a shop. Look at that. All right. So we'll hit the alchemy. We'll increase board size, then go to the shop. Let's do that. What do I want to alchemize here? I kind of want to do Funeral Pyre, Corvid. We'll just merge those together. Apply 7 fire per card that applies fire. That's kind of a downgrade. But it still has the Corvid Echo, so maybe I'll get another Corvid. And I can get some fire going. Alright, Mr. Shop, what do we got? Frog, apply 5 poison. Could do another alchemy. I don't have any... What is this? I think I'll purchase... Well, we got that card upgrade, alchemy. Let's purchase that. Put that here. Let's do an enchant, actually. Critical multiplier by 0.5x. Let's put that on there. Do I have enough for the upgrade? I do. Let's upgrade... the wyvern, I guess. Okay. I really need some more fire cards to make this build work. That is not fire. Okay, I guess we'll just see how this goes. 35 fire, nice. 49 fire, oh my gosh. Why did that apply 49 fire? Hold on, let's look at the combat log. Oh, it critted the wyvern. Oh, because the wyvern has echo, right. So the wyvern did a 14 fire and then 28 because it has a ×2 crit multiplier now. And then the Corvid applied 7, so that adds up to 49, right? Yeah. Very cool. Man, that combat log is actually pretty useful. I was like, why did it apply that much fire? Oh, the wyvern critted. Very cool. All right. Upgrade card. We're just going to max out the wyvern here. Let's go. Okay, so I've got a 0.52 alchemy and a 0.9. Either one I choose is going to be the end. So let's go ahead and do this. I might as well just throw this giant finger together with this other defensive stuff, and we'll see if I get something good. Okay. That's 5 turns. This is 6 turns. So let's grab this one. All right, boss time. Let's see what happens. I just crit healed despite the fact that I had no missing health. Another crit heal, very nice. I've got 56 shield though, that's pretty good. Yikes. Oh, I'm taking damage. Oh, wow. Okay. The boss might still be a little bit too difficult. That's okay. Let's try again. I don't think I'm going to survive. Dang. All right. I think the boss is still a little bit overtuned. I think I need to tone down boss and other enemy global buffs. I think the problem is that I think the barkeep, like, it's a global buff, which is a problem. I need to make more cards that have more interesting card bonus patterns, because I'm using adjacency a lot, so when cards are next to each other they get different bonuses, but I have the ability to say like only cards in this row get the ability, or only cards in this column get the ability. And so the main reason I haven't been leveraging that a whole lot is because I don't have a good way of telling the player what the query pattern is for cards. So I need to get that down, and I think I have it written down somewhere. Yeah, figure out a way to indicate more complex querying patterns. So I think that's going to be a big one that I need to figure out. But yeah, could embed a local SQLite DB that gets uploaded. Backpack Battles does something similar. Oh, interesting. Okay. But we just shout out, use something that's poorly balanced during streams. I mean, you can do that for sure. I'm a big fan of putting everything into SQLite at work lately. Gotcha. Yeah, ouch, indeed. Maybe a portion of overheal could be converted to shield, so it's not totally lost. That is a good idea for a relic or some other kind of modifier. I don't think I would do it as default behavior, but having something that could enable overheal. Do certain items have different color scheme depending on their effects in battle? Not, I mean, generally, I guess so. Like the fire things are generally orange colored and the poison things are generally green colored. That wasn't really intentional. That's just the way it made sense to me. So I guess you could say that's true. It's pretty unclear at first glance what each item does. Yeah, and I don't know a way, because even if something applies poison, it might have a specific condition under which it applies poison. The time to get to the boss seems very quick. Yeah, I think that's true, but there's going to be multiple bosses in a single run, so that's just the first boss. But then the idea is the map is going to change in some way that changes the faction that you're fighting, the villager faction that you're fighting, and you're going to fight 3 or 4 bosses during the entire run. So it's like there will be like 4 stages of that, where you go through the map, you collect a bunch of upgrades, boss, then you do it again, all in the same run. Do you mind quickly showing how you implemented a custom clickable control node? It seems interesting. It's my clickable control does a lot of stuff, but I don't know if it's possible to quickly go over it. Basically, the big thing that it does is it maintains a system of input locks, and then when the input locks is changed such that it becomes unlocked or locked, it can emit certain signals based on that. And then it just handles the various mouse inputs based on its internal state. It's also doing a lot of other stuff here, which is not, I don't think, relevant to your question exactly, but basically the core purpose of this is to provide a way for me to disable many clickable elements at once, and then when it gets enabled, I can apply all of the highlight shaders and everything to the thing that it's supposed to highlight. So I just scrolled through the script. So if you want to go back in the stream, you can read through it if you want. I'll just scroll through it again. Real quick. So if you want to go back through the VOD, you can watch this and read through it. Long time no see. Hello, Lukey. Welcome back. All right, so that's going to be it for the stream today. I'm going to go rest a little bit, but also I'm going to work on some of the other stuff that I need to get done for the playtest. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for being here. Again, Alchemortis is available for wish listing. It's the first line in the description below. So if you're interested, check it out. I would appreciate a wish list. And again, the playtest is coming relatively soon, so stay tuned for that. Drink water. Yeah, I've been drinking lots of water. So anyway, I will analyze it. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So thank you again, everyone. Thank you for your support. Appreciate you all being here. And I will see you back here tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. Hopefully I'll see you here. I'll be here. I don't know if you're going to be here, but I hope you are. But anyway, have a good day, everyone, and see you next one. Bye-bye.